But the fit issue is evident here. 当一个 application 刚进里面的时候，这就是一个 fit issue. At a school like Stanford, the high qualified academic student might be able to have a better chance than that student who got into MIT with the planes. A student that has great personality and character skills might have a better chance of getting to Columbia and Harvard than, let's say, Stanford and Duke. In this area, just this process here will show students what they should do or how they should predict their application outcome. 就是 understanding 大学的选学生的方式是最重要的一点，因为当你不 understand the process 的时候，你怎么去 succeed in this process? Because it is a process. 这不是一个一天两天就能做到的事，这是一个很长时间的一个 process. Once the application it arrives in the admissions committee, there's also ways of elimination for the admissions committee. The first way, fundamental academic criteria. 这是唯一一个 situation that college 还会看一个小孩的 GPA 和 SAT， 但是 not in the overall context. They look at specific areas of the GPA and specific areas of the SAT. 大学不需要所有的学生 to be well-rounded. In fact, colleges do not need students to be well-rounded. 大学 colleges want a well-rounded student body. So每一个孩子 should be different from each other. They should have different passions, different interests, different ideals, different natures, different talents. 他们不需要一样的孩子，也不需要一个孩子to be perfect. They want a perfect student body and not necessarily a perfect student. In that situation, it makes a lot of logical sense. 要是我有一个大学 and I select 500 kids each year, 然后我每年选的500个小孩都是物理学物理的 then what are they going to learn from each other other than physics? Probably not much. But if I have a student body with all different majors, all different countries, all different ethnicities, all different interests, every conversation could be a potential learning experience. So at this stage, colleges are trying to find students that have the intelligence to do well in areas that they want to do well in. There are 4 popular majors that students apply to colleges with. Business, law, engineering, and medical. 学生的学生 colleges will look at all of the following classes. It's not too hard to figure out what classes they look at for business programs. Math. But in particularly, if you can take this course, statistics. Sorry, my handwriting is not that great, but I'm trying my best. 在一个小孩的 transcript 上面，所有的 math course should be an A. For a school like Columbia, it should be an A. 所有的 SAT-E 和 SAT-R in math subjects should be above a 760. If you are not talented in these areas, that's telling colleges, 根据你的大脑，你选的 major 并不是最 optimal, 并不是一个特别 optimal major for you. Therefore, students are rejected at this stage. Roughly 30% of the students are rejected here. But quite frankly, very rarely do Asian students get rejected here. Why? If you're looking at the Asian student transcript, chances are 所有的课程都是 A. 所有的 SAT score 都是760以上。So there's not any reason to really cancel them out. Law, English, history, engineering, math and science, and particularly physics. Medicine, biology, chemistry, and math. academically for what he or she wants to study. 第二，各大 college real or not real student. It's not exactly very hard to figure out what this means. Are you a real student or are you someone who pretends to be a real student? Colleges do not expect students to say, 我要当一个科学家，我要当一个医生，我要当一个律师。80%的小孩在高中并不知道他们以后要做什么事情。They should not be expected to know. 因为高中给小孩带来的机会，远远是离大学给孩子带来的机会是 world apart. When I went to college after high school, I thought I was standing, on top of the Empire State Building. That's how far I could see. When I was in high school, I thought I was 数路最高, I couldn't see too far. This is the reason why colleges expect students to use college as a place to find their true desires. Now, but colleges also expect students, 在4年高中的时间, a student must have identified a couple things that they like or are interested in. 不可能在4年的时间, you did not find one course more interesting than anything else. That's impossible. For make an example that here's a student that have identified 3个 interest. 不管是什么 interest, maybe drawing, painting, debate. 在这个3个 interest, 在一个小孩的 application 上面, 他必须得给大学讲一个故事。这个故事必须得 convince colleges that they are a real student. 这个故事 contains 3 points. 第一个 point 叫 origin. What happened in your life that made you interested in this field? Something must have happened. Were you inspired by a teacher? Were you inspired by your parents? Did you watch a television show? There must be an origin, a beginning to how the student discovered his or her interest. 当一个学生找到了自己的 interest, 第二个 point is called action. 当你自己找到了自己的 interest, what did you do to further grow your interest? What did you do to become more knowledgeable in that field? 这就是一个孩子做的 extracurriculars, involvement outside of the school, involvement in other countries, pursuit of their interests for the acquisition of more knowledge. 最后一点 is called the future. If a student is so interested in a topic, then he or she must be able to sit down with someone and potentially have a conversation about that topic for days and days. If you like something, there must be specific about this field that attracted you in the first place. Oftentimes, that something specific carries you into the future possibilities. 当一个孩子申请大学的时候, if he has identified 3 interests, then he must satisfy all 3 of these points. 有很多孩子到 application 上面, they're missing a point here, they're missing a point here, they're missing a point here, then you're going to be called not a real student. If you have everything, then you are a real student. 30, roughly, not necessarily 30, this part fluctuates a lot. 15%到 30% of the kids are rejected at this stage. But one very sad piece of news, 70% of the Asians are rejected at this stage. Can anyone